Mellissa Thomas here for Florida National News, coming to you from Kissimmee City Hall, specifically their chambers, where Congressman Soto and many of the elected officials here, not only county and city, but also business leaders, are holding a town hall to discuss the Bahamas relief aid that they will coordinate to send down to the nation of the Bahamas, which has been devastated by Hurricane Dorian. So stay tuned for those details.
So we're hearing some pretty staggering numbers coming out of the Bahamas. Over 30 deaths, 45,000 homes. We're talking about over $7 billion in damage. But we need to understand the human side of this story. These are thousands and thousands of families who've lost everything. And so right now we're focused first on the emergency efforts, search and rescue, medevac. We have teams in place through USAID, through the Coast Guard, through the Bahamas Red Cross, and through the British Royal Navy to help out. Over the longer term, we're working with the Bahamian government to establish a drop-off site here in Osceola County that we should be able to announce next week, along with businesses and churches and others that are going to be helping out.
Absolutely. And last question, talk about the collaboration that you have with the local governments, the city of Kissimmee as well as the county.
Absolutely. We're no stranger in Central Florida to hurricanes or to Florida in general. And so we're working with the state government for whatever assets Florida can help out in the short term. We're also going to have doctors and nurses and other emergency personnel who want to volunteer their time down there to help out. But most of this will be between the federal government, the Bahamas, and the UK, all governments that have a close relationship with the Bahamas. But the key will be, for right now, USAID, Red Cross. That's where you can help, and you could do that today.
But right now, from where we sit here now, we're trying. I'm in Orlando. Of course, Lexus is here in Kissimmee. What we need in Orlando is we need some volunteers. We put a group together in Orlando that we're working together to make sure that we coordinate. There's a coordinated effort in Orlando to get things put in place. And then what we need from that is we need volunteers with trucks that can truck the material down to South Florida.
Sir, what are you telling people who are trying to fly in and out of the island? I know you talked about some of the concerns and the difficulties that you all were having with airspace.
Well, for those people, and everybody wants to help, but what we're saying to those individuals that want to fly in, please coordinate that with our officials in the Bahamas. We know that the airports are closed. We know that the ports are closed. We don't know when they're going to be open. As Bahamasair, we have the okay to fly into Abaco now because we're flying 6 flights in today just to bring people out. But you got to understand that the runways are in terrible condition. So whatever you're going to do, we want you to make sure that you're coordinated with your Bahamian officials to make sure that if you're going to go in, it's done safely and that you can get in and leave the materials that you want to leave. We have NEMA in the Bahamas, which is it's the FEMA of the Bahamas. You want to coordinate things with NEMA, and you want to coordinate with our Bahama Consul General office down in South Florida.
We put this together in 8 hours, one shift. We got all of our commissioners. We reached out to them to see if they would be willing to support this. We reached out to our state senator, our state representative, amongst community leaders and our local faith-based leaders, and we made it happen. We made it happen. This is a prime example. We witnessed this today. It takes a village.
As we heard from all the representatives here, their hands, their wallets are open and ready to provide aid. We heard from Kissimmee Mayor Alvarez the importance of focusing on getting the logistics down first before bringing in any supplies. But once that's down, he mentioned that Kissimmee is open and ready to assist. If you want to find out more information about how you can help and contribute, obviously visit the CAFA website, the Caribbean and Floridian Association. Look them up and all the details will be there, including a couple of the churches whose representatives were here and volunteered their organizations to open up as storehouses. We also heard from Kissimmee Commissioner Felix Ortiz. He mentioned that he'll be opening up a portion of his restaurant, Three Sisters, to storehouse some supplies. But stay tuned right here at FloridaNationalNews.com for our continuing coverage of the Bahamas relief in the wake of Hurricane Dorian. This is Mellissa Thomas coming to you from Kissimmee City Hall.